Do you love ice cream? What if it was so healthy you could eat it anytime, even for breakfast? Well, now you can with your nanas. You make your own treats that look and taste just like soft serve ice cream. But your nanas are made only with frozen fruit. Your nanas is stoked to sponsor Dish with Eileen.
When pumpkin season rolls around, one of the first meals I want to make is pumpkin ravioli. The harvest flavors of autumn are warm and comforting. The bright orange colors tell me it's a healthy start to my meal and the season. When I tell my friends I'm making ravioli, they usually think that it's a really complicated process, but really it's just a four-step process. We're going to make some sauce, we're going to make some filling, we're going to assemble our ravioli, and then we're just going to cook it. So to start, we will start with the sauce. I'm going to add just some chopped shallot, or you can use onion, into a hot pan with some olive oil. So we're going to just get that going. And then this is going to be a thin sauce. I am going to add some vegetable broth. So we have a couple cups of vegetable broth. And then to that, I'm going to add some other autumn flavors. Something else that I get really excited about when this season comes around is apple cider. So I'm going to add some apple cider to our sauce. So probably not something you typically have in a sauce that you have on pasta, but this is going to be really sweet and delicious. All right, to that I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. So we'll mix that in with a little bit of thyme as well. So this is really just kind of a nice, light, really wonderful flavor. Another fall ingredient that I want to add to this pumpkin ravioli is cranberries. So these are frozen cranberries that I let thaw. I'm going to go ahead and add these to the sauce. Like I said, a couple of interesting ingredients. Apple cider, you don't normally find apple cider in your sauce, and you don't normally find cranberries, but I think you're going to find this to be sort of a fun treat to put on top of your ravioli. So I've already put some of the thyme in here, but I'm going to add just a couple of other sprigs that I'm going to go ahead and take out at the end. All we're going to do is bring that up to a simmer, and we'll cover it in a little while. Just let it stay warm while we make our filling and we assemble. So this is why I want to start with my sauce first. Now let's make our filling. To a hot pot of oil, I'm going to add again some more chopped onions, just like I added to the sauce. To that, we are going to add the main ingredient, and this is going to be our pumpkin. Now we know we've got this wonderful bright pumpkin in here, and this is really good for you. It's a bright color that often we don't include in our diet, so here's a really great way to get that color into your diet. So I'm just going to mix that onion into the pumpkin. To that, I'm going to add some cumin powder. Just mix that in. Some coriander. Oh, I can already smell that cumin and coriander. I love it, and I think it's a really wonderful complement to just that mellow pumpkin flavor. Now, to those two, I'm going to also add some paprika. Not only is this going to add a little bit of color, but again, it's that wonderful warm Spanish spice. So this is a really fun ingredient inside of this pumpkin ravioli. All right, to that, we will add some oregano, just a little bit of dried oregano. I feel like that dried oregano, that flavor goes a long way. And then another ingredient that I know is probably not something you would think about, and that's going to be a little balsamic vinegar. I love to add the balsamic vinegar to this. So you'll see we just stir that right in, and it's just letting this warm up and heat up. We'll just add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. And we're going to add some garlic powder. Just like we added garlic powder to our sauce, we're going to include that in our filling as well. So sometimes when you have a sauce, you have a filling, it's nice to have a couple of the same flavors inside both. The third step's the fun step. This is assembling the ravioli. Now that our filling has cooled, we're going to just take a teaspoonful of our pumpkin filling, and we're going to just add it right to the center of this wonton wrapper. Then what I do is I take some water that I'm just going to brush right along the edges, and this is going to serve as glue. It's going to hold the top wonton wrapper. So we'll just take another one. We're going to lay it right over the top, and look at that. We're just going to seal the edges. Real simple, just like that. And I'm gonna push right along where the filling is just to kind of push a little bit of air out that might be in there. I'm just gonna finish up the rest of the tray and make some more ravioli. The final step is just to cook your ravioli. So we're just going to take these wonderful wonton wrapped raviolis and drop it in some boiling water. And because these are so thin, it's only going to take minutes to cook. So just after a few minutes, we're just going to go ahead and pull our ravioli out of our hot water. And I'm going to use a ladle here that will help get rid of some of that water when I pull this out. So look at that beautiful thin wrapper. These are so light and delicate, that wonderful pumpkin inside. I cannot wait to put that wonderful cranberry cider on top. Now for this wonderful cider cranberry sauce, we're just going to ladle a little bit over the top. You've got that bright cranberry in there. You've got some of that green thyme. Look at the beautiful color of that cider and vegetable broth. I'm going to add some toasted walnuts to the top. And there you have this incredible pumpkin ravioli. It's a great way to start the fall season. Something I like to do is add a little bit of Parmesan cheese to the ravioli at the very end. I think it adds a really wonderful, salty, nutty flavor. Now to take a bite of this wonderful pumpkin ravioli with this great cider sauce. The toasted walnuts on top, it's a nice crunch. I love there's some tanginess coming from that cranberry, but you're going to enjoy a little bit of sweetness coming from that apple cider. To chew on more information and complete recipes, visit dishwitheileen.com.